All right, all right, all right. How's everybody doing today? Hopefully, everybody is doing amazing and wonderful. It is Wednesday. You know what that means. It's Getting Naked Live podcast. If you don't know what Getting Naked is, it is real, it is raw, it is funny, it's AF. What does that mean, baby?
As fuck.
And hey, look, I just want you guys to know this is going to be fun. This is going to be exciting. You guys ain't seen no podcast like this before, especially with the bald head genie and a unicorn purple hair young lady. And that's what we calling ourselves. And today, ladies and gentlemen,
Today is going to be the day.
Today is going to be the day. You're going to learn today. And so today we have a special guest, Mr. Kendrick Avant. He's a speaker, he's an author, he's an advocate, he's a Spotify podcaster as well, right? He is literally the agent of gratitude. And I want you guys to know, he's teaching Black men the mindset to overcoming, self-limiting beliefs and the negativity that surround us. And, I think and I know this man can inspire anybody and everybody, no matter what color, no matter what race, no matter what, because just his spirit, his energy, his vibration, and just his support. This young man has, supported me and Tara from day one on Clubhouse, on Wisdom, on all of our social media. This young man has made a video after he booked a discovery call with us and learned about our Hello Briefcase. This young man did a video today, of our podcast and really, shouted us out. And, he called us a power couple, baby.
Aww.
And, I just want to say, brother, all the grace goes back to you, because how many young men, how many adults, how many other people that you've given, so much support, and you've given them so much, that, hold on, if he can do it, I can do it. And so you've inspired so many people, brother. And that's why, we wanted you to be one of the first, to join us on our live podcast, because you've been supporting us from day one. And I share with people all the time, the people that should be supporting you, the people that should be sharing your stuff, the people that should be, liking and loving and doing all that, they don't do that. But the people that don't even much know you from Adam or Eve, those are the ones that, support you. And that's why I remind you guys, you got to first start with one of the first S's in the six is your surroundings.
Yeah.
And brother, surrounding yourself with good, like-minded people like yourself, brother, is absolutely amazing. So, brother, I want to welcome you to our show. Please tell the people what I didn't tell them. Come on, talk to us.
Yo, 1,000 thank yous, man. Swinging and banging on the ones and twos. Allow me to reintroduce myself to you. I'm Kendrick Avant, the agent of gratitude. And man, what I do is every day I am exemplifying, I am showing people how if you just hold that gratitude up high, and by gratitude, it doesn't mean just be grateful and say you're grateful that you woke up. You're grateful that you have your health. You got to put the gratitude with it. You got to put that why statement with it. You got to say why you are so damn grateful that you woke up. You woke up and you want to take your kids to the park. You woke up and took your queen out to breakfast. Did you wake up and go to work and get your paycheck? Put the why statement with it. When you add that why statement with it, and you look at it tomorrow and next week and next month, man, King, you are actually writing your own biography of the good shit in your life. And if you keep going through that, man, you have less negative thoughts. 80% of
Yep.
our thoughts are negative. 80%, man. And if we can get that down, so I know you can remember this number, 69. If you can get that number from 80% to 69, you're going to have 1,200 more positive thoughts. And that's the way all this shit works. And that's the way I found out it works, by doing that gratitude journal my damn self, putting in the work every day, sitting there and thinking, shit, what am I grateful for and why? I'm grateful because you know what? I got this vodka and Red Bull and it's 7 in the morning. You know what? I'm grateful. Like hell, I got an early morning drink. Let's go. Cause now I'm so crunk and I'm ready to go. I'm not studying if the kids miss a school bus because you know what? They could just stay here and do work because I got my vodka and Red Bull. And it just goes like that. It's just about putting things into perspective for you, your damn self. You write that down, you record that, and you look at it again next week, next month, and you just see less negative thoughts. And that's the magic that I talk about all the time. That's why I call myself the agent of gratitude.
I love it, brother. You know what? Just that analogy that you shared, and I know you're not up in the morning with no vodka and Red Bull. But just that, and some people are, but just
Teach
what
their own.
what you shared is writing it down and being able to be aware of where you are right now and being able to see yourself gradually make those baby steps. And that's, like I said, people don't understand, who you are. And I'd like for you to share with the people, who is Mr. Avant? Tell us who you are, sir.
Mr. Avant is a former character education teacher. So for almost 20 years, I'm in Houston and I'm teaching character education. That means my kids are the ones that have ISS. My kids are the ones that have their out of school suspension. If people don't know, maybe people, not everybody knows, ISS means in school suspension. That
You have
means my kids are the ones that are doing the bad shit. I got to deal with the bad kids, man. I'm in
You
middle
know those
school.
bad ones.
Yeah, that's it. And then so what I learned is by doing that, and I didn't even have a gratitude journal back then. What I did back then was, and I won Teacher of the Year and everything, because I taught history. Then they moved me to character education. I got hit with the classic line. I remember I was maybe 4 or 5 years into teaching. Brother, I had a class that was 35 students, and
whoa.
21 of the 35 kids had what they call the individual education plan. That means they got ADHD, they may have some type of learning dis 21 of 35, and nobody else in my entire school had a class over 27. But they give me all these kids and they keep telling me, but you work, he just needs a father figure. And you work so well with these kids, Kendrick. You work so well with these kids. And I'm thinking to myself the whole time, God damn, I can't be every kid's daddy. Oh my God. No, no, I can't do it. I can't do it. But you know what? And that's just, and I know that same thing goes in the business world, because that's that thing where if you do your job too damn well, they're gonna punish you by giving you some more work. Let you fly through it. They're gonna punish you by giving you some more work.
Ooh, he
David, I know, yo
work.
man, you're a football player. You already know if your ass can rush the passer and you can stop the run. Oh dog, you wanna know every single down.
Yeah.
They're gonna find someone for you to
Oh
go
no,
on
what
punt coverage.
your
On
ass is
the punt
your ass
coverage.
is on offense too. You're on offense. Here we go. Let's go. No, I'll never forget.
They're gonna get you, man.
In high school, I played a full entire game. I was out 2 plays. Coach, coach, he hit me up the other day. Coach Stevens, he said, Jones, after that game, he said, Jones, I've never seen anybody play a full out game like the way you played it.
God dog.
But
What were the two plays that you missed? It was
special
the
team,
kickoff, wasn't it?
special
I
team.
knew it. It was a kickoff.
Get the break, Jones. Get
That
some
was
air.
it. And look, this was a middle of the day game in Houston, Texas.
Oh,
Ooh,
wait. Like what time middle of
it
the
was
day?
Like,
hot.
Like
you talking about middle of the day, like
December?
1 o'clock.
Like
No,
December or
no,
July?
no, no,
It's
no.
a difference.
Oh,
It's
well,
a difference.
well, hold on. This was probably September.
Okay, well it's still hot.
Ooh, it's still hot.
Yeah,
It's
Yeah,
still
it's still hot.
yeah,
it's not hot. It's hot.
this was probably like the second game. So maybe August. Yeah, it was hot. It was
Yeah.
Yeah.
hot. It was hot.
See, yep. That's the way the game go, man. That's the way they did, man. It had me playing every single position. This kid need that. Kendrick got him. That kid need that. Kendrick got him. Hey, he doesn't ever go to his class. Kendrick, can you talk to him? It's not even my damn student. But you work so well with him. And the kid looking at me, I know who you are. You talk to
Yeah.
all the bad kids, don't you? God, dog. Yeah, I guess so. So I did that, man, I did that for almost 20 years. And I stopped doing that in 2016. The story, I had been feeling sick, and I kept thinking maybe I'm just out of shape. So I'm signing up with health plans. I'm signing up with Gold's Gym and stuff like that. I'm doing all this type of stuff because I'm just trying to because I'm my legs are hurting because I'm out of shape. We I end up, to make a long story short, it gets so bad. that I end up retiring right after Christmas one year. Since 2016, I have a okay. This gonna be a true story. I've never told this story out loud to anybody, but yo, man, I like y'all. I never go tell the story.
We get
My
the
oldest,
tea.
my oldest kid was in seventh grade, and I'm struggling with my own health issues. Like I'm flipping out. I know something is wrong, but I don't know what the hell is wrong.
Yeah.
But I do know this: I teach a certain kind of student. I got high school kids that'll come through and be bullshitting and, yo, Mr. A, man, your little girl looking good. Yo, get your ass up out of here, dog. Stop playing with me like that. No, stop bullshitting. And one day, and I had already told her, like, look, what's it, if be one of my students, don't fuck with it. Like you gotta learn to stay away from my students. Consider them boys your brother. They still them
Yeah.
too. Look, man, my daughter's off limits. And I looked up one day and a teacher told me, Kendrick, I caught your daughter kind of sort of making out. Oh shit. That was it. I
Oh,
pulled out I switched schools and everything. I took out like you know what? You out of school. And I took her from that school that I taught at with all the she knew everything, all the kids knew her and everything, and put her in a whole new school, whole new district, everything. It was I wanted to prove a point to her. And then later on that year I ended up getting diagnosed. I ended up retiring from school teaching. I became one of my students told me the last school lesson, last project I ever gave my students was the career project. Find out what you want to be. One of the kids is doing the project and he says, yo, Mr. A, I want to be a real estate agent. Cool. A lot of shit. A lot of people want to be a real estate agent, insurance, whatever. And he hits me and says, Mr. A, did you know that 80% of millionaires come from real estate and insurance? Didn't know that. That's good shit. I probably could have done that if I felt like it. And the whole class like looks at me. Then why are you a teacher if you could have been a millionaire? And that was the last project I assigned my students before I retired. I retired in January. It was the last project I ever assigned to them. And then later on that year, we are in Costa Rica. I'm doing so good at real estate. We're in Costa Rica. I was on principals' houses. It is my first 6 months. I make my whole teacher salary for the year and some.
mm.
We go to Costa Rica October. And I fall. I'm trying to drive. I'm trying to drive a four wheeler, and I crash into a mountain. And Terry, you might be. I see your eyes, but like, a mountain, dude. Just yeah. Actually, I saw the mountain. No, you see the mountain. I didn't mean to hit the mountain. It was a bigger mountain than I thought it was.
It was a bigger
It
mess.
just hit me. Yeah, I think the mountain actually hit me. But either way, so we end up leaving. We come back.
Squirrel.
We come back, and on the way back to the room, I fall through a table. My brothers end up picking me up because I can't move my leg after that. They pick me up, take me to the room. My wife was a nurse. She keeps saying, I hope your ass has not had a goddamn stroke. I know you didn't bring your ass to these people country and had a goddamn stroke. And I'm in the bed, can't move my legs, thinking, you really gonna blame me? Like you really gonna tell me I can't have a stroke in these people country? What the hell is this shit about? Either way, we bring our ass back to America, man. Yeah, we bring our ass back to America. We go to a neurologist. I want to just go see to get primary care doctor. My wife was like, no, take your ass to a goddamn neurologist. It's time for this shit. Go to a neurologist. Neurologist tells me, oh my gosh, you have multiple sclerosis. No, not me. I ain't got no multiple sclerosis. I know what that shit is because my aunt had it and she had just passed away 3 months prior of multiple sclerosis complications. So when she tells me that, I'm shook, like, no, it can't be, can't be. Next week comes back from all the tests, and not only do I have it, it's in my brain, it's on my spine. The first three medications they put me on tripled my brain lesions and my spinal lesions. So I started out with like 12 total at first, and after 3 months, they stopped counting at 54 and wanted me to do chemotherapy. And I couldn't do chemotherapy, man. Like I wasn't gonna. I know what chemo. I've seen. I'm not an idiot. I know cancer patients take chemotherapy. I've never heard of it for multiple sclerosis. That scared me, and I just ended up deciding not to do it. My neurologist, I asked her about cannabis, and she actually reported me for being a drug user. So that stopped all my pain medications. They diagnosed me with spondylosis of the back, like arthritis of the spine and shit. Like it stopped all my pain medication because she reported me a drug user because I asked her about cannabis. and that was March 1st, 2017. She
Wow.
actually said she actually told me in front of my wife, told me, I can't remove this until you're ready to come back and start taking normal medications. Shit, I didn't even start taking the cannabis yet. You report me, what the hell? But either way, all this medication stopped, and I ain't had the medicine since then for this shit. I've been doing the cannabis and the kratom and water and tea and all the keeping on top of my vitamins and supplements and sunlight, yoga every single day, meditation, all that type of shit. I do everything else. I'm so far outside the norm now, and I wasn't this guy growing up. Growing up, I was one. Yo, if my head hurt, give me a pill. My stomach hurt, give me a pill. Give me a pill. Now, yo, I damn near break into a hive if I see a pill. Like I can take a vitamin, but I don't want shit else. Like I'll just have to rock with it. I'll deal with it, and I'll find something to do with it. But yeah, and I'm still here. They told me I wouldn't. They told me I wouldn't. It was 2017. She told me if I didn't take medications, I would not be walking within 2 years. She said I would be bedbound in 2 years. Yo, man, I'm in year number 5, and I'm still. I mean, I can't walk, but shit, I can get in my wheelchair and get where I need to go. I'm not confined to that bed like she predicted. And what I do is live, and what I do is live the healthy, optimal life. Use y'all's term. I live the healthy, optimal life. Pay attention to what my body needs, and that's what I roll with. There's not a bunch of pills and everything else, man. I'm rolling the I treat this damn me illness naked. I don't do none of that extra shit. Give me the basic stuff, and I'll take care of it. Take care of it. I'm out there naked with it. I like that.
I love it, brother.
I don't think I heard that full story all the way through. So, man,
Yeah, I hardly ever tell it because I feel like it's so long. I just feel like it just kind of takes away from everything else that goes on. It kind of my story. I feel like it zaps the fun out the room. I start telling people shit. They be like, oh, no, no, no. You understand? Like, look at me grinning now. Like I smoke all the time now. Like I have pictures and shit like this. Like, yo, man, what the hell? Like, I can't lie. I can't lie. I'm not sad about my life. I am not sad about what has happened.
okay.
I'm rocking and rolling, man.
Yeah.
I'm rocking and rolling. It ain't like I still, the queen and I still get it. Like, I get that even more now. Like, yo, life is good for me. So, shit, I'm not tripping on anything at all. Life, and I just put in that damn me proposal today. If they gets accepted, oh my gosh, it is
It
on.
is
It
already
is
accepted.
on.
Done, brother.
It's
Yeah,
already
it is
accepted.
on.
Mhm.
And that leads me, to the next thing of just the mindset. I know you're big on this. You know,
Yes.
what would be your 30-second 1 minute spill to people about their mindset going through your journey and what you've went through in life.
Man, the biggest thing for that mindset is finding something that puts you in the place where you want to be. I found out where I wanted to be with the gratitude journal. I'm writing so much in my gratitude journal about when my former students would write to me and hit me up on Facebook and social media and Twitter that actually became my podcast. And from that becoming a podcast, that became a program to sell to schools. And from the program sent to schools, now I got a proposal in. All of this started with me writing that gratitude journal and figuring out over the years, like, oh my gosh. And even my wife saying, every time you write about them damn kids hitting you up, you just get crazy grinning. And I found out, I'd be damn, this is what I want to do. I can still teach by doing this. And so if I tell anybody, yo, that's my 30-second thing there right there. Find out what you're grateful for, and that changes everything. You can build stuff, all types of shit.
Hmm.
Man,
Grateful as fuck. Use y'all's term again, grateful as fuck. See, this is
look,
why I like this is why I like
you
y'all,
wake
man.
up in
Grateful
the morning.
AF.
Look, so I've been doing this new thing about when I get up in the morning, what am I grateful? Immediately, what is the thought that I'm grateful for? What am I grateful for? What am I grateful for? Start my day in gratitude because gratitude then into love. And when you are in the vibration of love, there is a magical thing that comes through that, right? And I'm going to start my day as I'm grateful as fuck. Like literally, David's going to have to deal with, I don't know where
Girl,
my
you
pen went
almost took
to.
my damn eye out.
Oh, my sorry, boo. Anyways, I was like, where'd my pen go? It's in your eye. But I'm gonna be out here like David's gonna be like, oh damn it, Kendrick, no. But it's
Not at all, because that was the first thing that
yeah,
I
you
asked
never really
myself
are.
this morning. is because my suggestion to all of you, since you bring that up, is when you wake up in the morning and saying that is get your damn phone away from your desk or away from your bed.
Yeah, man.
Put
Not
your
you,
phone
but
downstairs, right? And just like in your journal that you have, I now take my journal upstairs, and when I get up, I go to the restroom, I go take a shit. Tell you how I do, right? And I grab my journal and I go take care of my business and I write my journal. And
I do
then
the same thing.
when I come downstairs, then I will grab my phone and look at, what's going on. Because a lot of us aren't understanding that, your energy and your vibration and how you start your day out is very important. And so
Hmm.
that's why, just doing little tweaks like that will really set you off to a different path.
yeah, I will say when I don't have TMI maybe, but apparently David and I are on the same bathroom schedule. It's a good thing we have 2 bathrooms in the house. This is getting naked talk, y'all. And the other day I sent him a picture, y'all, because I did have my phone, but I have my phone because my phone's by our bedside because it's playing YouTube, and it's usually I have a sound bath, or we have some sort of frequency playing, or subconscious. We're doing some sort of subconscious work at night to really start a lot of, that y'all, if you don't do anything else in your life,
man, you got to go deeper in there.
If you don't do anything in your life, y'all, y'all need to be on YouTube at night while you're sleeping. That is the laziest, best exercise you can get, because you are exercising your subconscious. You need to be cleansing that thing, healing that thing, affirming that thing, because at the end of the day, that is your gatekeeper. So what I want to say, though.
Now, when your girl starts putting the YouTube video about her crystals, then you might need to start considering something's going the fuck on.
I have crystals underneath my pillow, y'all, so don't get it twisted.
Oh, yeah, that would be the other thing. When you go to grab your girl and you
slide your hand underneath the thing, and you're like, what is this?
Now you're like, you know what? Now you're taking this shit a little bit too far. Now girl, you almost fucked my hand up.
It's a little too far when the crystals are underneath your pillow. Yeah. But it's underneath my pillow, my head, my pillow.
No, I'm telling you, one of these days I'm gonna catch her ass transforming from whatever she really is into her human form, and I'll be like, I told you, I busted your ass, and I'm out this motherfucker. I'm leaving. I'm not coming back. I'm telling y'all right now. If y'all see me out in the streets, Kendrick, if you see me knocking on your door, I'm telling you what happened. She went cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. I'm out.
So I already tell them that I'm an alien. It's okay. I'll just turn into a little light being. That's all. I'm just gonna turn into like a light orb like that. See, that's all I'm gonna turn into. It's gonna be like, what? Yeah. And I said, it's okay. You can run. You can go to Kendrick's house because I know where Kendrick lives. In here. Not really. Yeah, I will find you, Mr. Jones.
I'll get some samples so you kind of do know where he lives.
My human though.
All right, brother. Hey, look, if I gotta go, you gotta go too.
Got it.
Already. Anywho, we digress.
Hey, baby, if this crazy ass white girl show up with Purple Hill, do not let her in.
Yeah, you will be like, to his queen. You'll be like, no, she is white and purple. Don't let her in. Anyways, so the other day, Kendrick, I literally, when I'm like writing in my journal, so I keep 2. I keep a dream journal, and I keep then my affirmation daily, like what my schedule is. Because when I wake up, I like to jot what my dream is, because I've been tracking my dreams just because I'm in my own little world. We'll just leave it there, park that right there. But anyway, I've been tracking my dreams, and so I write down a journal of what I remember when I wake up. Usually that's right on my throne. We'll say that. Well, apparently somebody, I don't know if you can see this, it blends into the blanket, but so we started out with a 55-pound dog that turned into a 8-pound cat. Literally, shape-shifted a week later, shows up as a cat. So, tragic story.
That's the shit I'm living with right now. I'm just letting you know some crazy shit is going on over here, man.
Tragic story. We really, see, look, she's like, yeah, me, Anyways, it's the same soul. We have figured this out. But my point being is, She likes to be on my lap in the morning when I'm gratitude and journaling while I'm on my throne. So I don't have much lap room. I got a cat and a journal, and you already know how small your little throne is. So, anywho, it is what it is. So, anyway, now that everybody knows who we are, now that everybody knows our bathroom business, we are going to move this little show right on down the pipe here. So, let me ask you this, Kendrick. I got so many questions for you, but this is the first one. What is like one of the, let me say this. What would be some advice that you give someone who finds out that maybe they are a teacher and maybe they really love what they do, the students, the end result? And let me say this can kind of go for a broad thing because I think it's kind of like me. I love my clients. You love your students.
Mm-hmm.
What's some advice that you can give somebody who loves the end result and loves taking care of the other person, but doesn't like the vehicle they're in? Maybe it's the school, maybe it's their corporate job, maybe it's, a relationship. I don't know. What is some advice that you can give someone that they can actually gain some awareness or whatever and pivot through that?
You know what? When it comes to the magic words that you just said to me were that pivot word and that awareness. And I'm coming at that because what I want to say is that whenever, specifically when it comes to education in that classroom, if you can learn how to use that love language in your classroom, it will blow the communication with your kids through the roof, because we all know, as people, as kids, as teachers, as whatever, wherever the heck we at, we all have different love languages. I didn't know any of this shit until the pandemic hit. I started reading more and trying to make myself better. And now that I know that, even in my marriage, it makes things better because I don't spend so much wrong energy trying to talk to her or the kids in the wrong way. Instead of me always trying to force the way I'm feeling and the way I want to talk out, I know now, such as like I know my wife's language is gifts. There's no point in me doing a bunch of talking about, oh my gosh, babe, I love the way you're talking to me about my multiple sclerosis. It makes me feel so comfortable. Like that type of shit. She's looking at her phone on. She's watching the newest episode of Desperate Housewives. But if I look at her and say, yo, babe, look, I just did the laundry. Appreciate you for asking and making that tea for me for the MS. That shit makes her put the phone down and, oh, really? Appreciate that. Appreciate that. I'll make you some tea tomorrow then, motherfucker. Like it's like that. I get I get the response I'm looking for when I speak the language that she's used to. And it's the same way in the classroom, man. If you spend some real time and learn the different love languages of your students, and I know you can't learn all 20 or 30 kids. Find the two or three who are the biggest talkers or the ones that give you the most issue. You learn what theirs is and get them closer to your side. That makes their core group start fucking with you more in the way that you want to, and that just becomes a wildfire that you use to spread everything else in your classroom. But it starts with you learning your love language. You know them five love languages. You can build your whole classroom management around that.
I got something on that. So,
I figured you would.
let me go ahead. I mean,
I figured you
we
would.
are on a vibe because let me tell you, Kendrick, and you guys, Kendrick's been on the horn with us since 8:15. So we were vibing and talking before we came live, and he shared some things that I needed to hear today. Just affirmations, right? It's like hearing it from someone else, and that was another one of them. Is the language, is everybody's love language. I mean, hell, it's something that we give away on our Living Optimally page. It's something that we promote. And I got a little story about this, and most people know this about my Wi-Fi cafe. So I call the Wi-Fi cafe my corporate position, right? So I go to my Wi-Fi cafe when I need to. So one thing that I will say is that in the 7-year span I've been there, that has been a complete nomenclature. Like it is just so far off the scale, people don't understand it. And we recently had a new leadership in our location start that I actually directly, communicate with and report to. And it was amazing. Within 30 minutes of a conversation with this gentleman, after meeting him one day before in a group setting. So this is our first kind of one-on-one conversation. And when you meet me, I don't hold no bars back, really, y'all. You're gonna get what you're gonna get. And you are. It's either I like you and it's up, or it's gonna be like you gonna you can read me. Like I look. I don't play poker well. Let's just say that.
I dig it.
So I'm a very transparent person, and my point being is, he asked me. He's like, "You do this might be a little out of line, and don't report me to HR." And we, that joke. That's a running joke in our lot. But anyways, he says, "What's your love language, if you don't mind me asking?" And I went, "I like you. You're a good person." And he's like, "Okay." And I was like, "Because you know what? If you're asking someone's love language, you care about that individual and what motivates that individual and what gets that person going, so you as a team can win because you care. You care." That says, he's like, "You got all for that from that?" I said, "Yeah, I got a lot more that I haven't told you about that from that." And I just want to park that there because unfortunately, sometimes you know how people say a little too late, dollar day late, dollar short kind of thing. That's
Yep.
kind of what's going on with the Wi-Fi cafe, and it's really cool though that they've got somebody in there now that will mitigate that moving forward and carry that "what's your language of love" kind of attitude to do some healing. I've done my healing. I've got my stuff going on, and it's not so much at the Wi-Fi cafe. My
That's
point being, encryptically, is that at the end of the day, I'm just happy that the souls that are going to be there when I'm not will have some love.
that's what's
So
up.
I just want you to know that that's the message I got from you sharing about the language of love, and that's powerful, Mr.
Yo, I
Joe.
appreciate that. I sincerely do. I appreciate that.
Yeah, no, and just for the people that don't know, you should know the five love languages, and those are: number one, words of affirmation, right? Quality time, physical touch, acts of service, and receiving gifts. And so, as Tara said, we share that book. We actually have a test as well, a quiz that we share with people because that's most important. And even when you shared that, Tara, I always ask people, what's their why and what's their passion. Today I did a clubhouse from passion over profits, and it really should be, what's your love language, and let's benefit from that, and let's share that with other people because that's really what it's about, because it gets played out a lot, and a lot of people definitely would understand, what's your love language, and I think that serves well
Yep.
with all the stuff behind it. So, let me ask you this: what's one of your biggest failures, and what did you learn from it?
One of my biggest failures. Oh man, there's so many. Okay, one of the biggest failures. One of the biggest fail. I'm gonna go recent. One of the biggest failures is me trying to do the insurance and Medicare sales for the last year and a half. I started that thing up because in 2020 I had to pivot from being a regular agent who actually visited homes. It's a pandemic going. I got this illness. I can't, so I had to pivot and become the work from home Medicare Medicaid sales agent. And what I learned from that was how to actually stop and listen to people on the phone. Because when you're doing with Medicare and Medicaid, everybody that calls in is 95% of them are over the age of 65 because that's what Medicare and Medicaid is. The issues are all really, really similar. But man, what it usually comes down to is that they have a small problem and nobody helped them fix that small fucking problem. The small problem could have been they just wanted to know where to go to get their insulin. And because they've had to call in 13 times, when somebody could have just sent that shit as an email or just sent it to their home address and told them how to get there, anything other than them having to call 13 times, talk to 13 people, get transferred 13 times, that is the biggest failure I learned because I failed in that position because I was hired as a sales agent. And man, all I would do on the phone, brother, is talk to people. I'm talking to people about their medical issues. I'm telling them about my medical issues. I mean, we're having. I got people to invite me to their homes and everything. I'm having a good ass time on the phone. I wasn't on Clubhouse yet.
Yeah,
This was my thing. Like this was it. And they kept telling me, Kendrick, listen, we love your energy. Your energy is so great, Kendrick, but you've got to actually make sales. You've got to move the conversation. You kind of sort of get stuck in the whole questionnaire part and you get away from the questions. Now, yeah, you're right. You're right. Next call come in, I'm doing the same shit again. Next call come in, I'm doing the same shit again. Over and over. So I eventually end up getting fired. They moved my ass to I got fired and then I applied to be customer service, and I love customer service, man. I didn't make the money, of course, in sales, but in customer service, all I'm supposed to do is talk. And so that's what I would say. The biggest lesson, my biggest failure was doing that Medicare, Medicaid, trying to do the sales, and I learned, man, talking too much, but I learned communication. How to at least improve my doggone communication.
you know,
That was
I love that because just because of the first thing I picked up was just how to listen. And then the second thing I picked up was everybody always has something small that can be really easy to solve, but we don't take time as humans to stop and realize that not everybody understands how to solve their problems. They might be able to solve one segment of their problems really easy, but there
yep,
might be other parts of things in life that they're like, I don't know how to patch the wall that that someone put their
yep,
head through. They don't know. And so my point being is there's such simplicity in the solution approach. And it just, how you were talking earlier about, when you find the thing that you love, you're going to find kind of your freedom in it.
mm-hmm,
I keep coming back to this that I remember one thing when I was transitioning from a 15-year career into this new place, and I was asked, what do you like about what you do now? Everybody has what they don't like, but what do you like about what you do now? Every time I answer that question, every time I come back to what do I like now? You know what I like now? I like knowing that at the end of the day, my clients, my community, my people that are associated with me, whatever that looks like, are happy. In the corporate world, it's my clients. Hello LLC, it's the Hello fam. Whether you do business with us or not, if you are a part of that fam and you are a part of that fam, you don't even have a briefcase and you're a part of that fam. And that's my point, is that as long as you're good, as long as at the end of the day you showed up and you did purchase something from the Hello LLC and you are good, even though if that requires us to go above and beyond something that might not have been, because at some point, maybe along the conversation, somebody had a different understanding. Well, at the end of the day, there's two ways to handle it. You can either dig in and say no, or you can say yes. And you can say, let's work at it. And so, man, this is a divine conversation. I'm going to park my scooter right there on that one, Mr. Jones. What you got? I'm in all kind of awe over here. And if you're not on live, y'all, you got to be on live to see these facial expressions. So,
Well, brother, you just hit something on the head that I grabbed Tara's
he
pad,
did. He took my pad and he's right
and
back.
I just start to go and write because you're so true. And this is going to hit some people in the head when they hear this, that's why this is called Getting Naked.
2x4 between
We
the
keep
eyeballs.
it real, we keep it raw, and it's funny as AF. Is that I talk to a lot of entrepreneurs and I talk to a lot of people that want to start their business and really pivot their business and position themselves online. And what I find a lot of times is what you just said. A lot of people want to be customer service, but nobody wants to be the salesperson,
yep,
right?
yep,
So you got to find out if you want to be in customer service or if you want to be the sales guy, because the sales guy is the one that's going to ask those harder questions that most people are fearful of asking.
yep,
And if you find something that you're passionate about, if you find something that you love, then it's not necessarily asking, just like you did with your wife. You know what to exactly say to your wife and to get your wife to get your way. And there is no difference when you find somebody that is needing something and you know exactly how you can help them out. And that's the difference in being able to get that joy
I'm
and
sorry.
having the joy to your wife being able to get up the next morning and get that cup of tea.
Yep.
And so
Yeah,
there's
man.
the difference, of which one do you want to pick. You can do the customer service or you can do the sales, right? And so that's
Yep.
nothing more than but taking action. So, brother, I appreciate that so much.
So I have a question. Imagine that everything in your life is good. Like you got this contract in February, everything is golden. Like there's no debt, all debt's paid for. You have the house of your dreams. You're living good. And one day, you and your wife, you're putting around the house and you're cleaning out a closet, and your wife's like, "Honey, what's in this duffel bag?" You're like, "I don't know. Let's open it." And you open it up, and it's got $1 million cash in it. And you're like, "Oh, that's where that duffel bag went." And she's like, "Oh, silly, you're always just placing money everywhere." My point to you is at the end of the day, you don't lack for anything. You're good. What are you going to spend that $1 million on?
Nonprofit, all that is taken care of.
Like, yeah.
Everything is golden.
So I got $1 million cash. What I would actually do, I'm not playing. I would go to Ecuador and start an ESL school for adults and for kids. And I don't want it to be any type of charge whatsoever. I want them to come in and learn English, and I want the English teachers to be in there learning Spanish from the kids, from the people who are taking it. And that way, it becomes nothing but a community-wide effort. You are there not to make money as a teacher. You are there to build lines of communication. That way, when David over here in this corner says, "Oh man, I need some better bananas," because so and so, go over here to Tara because Tara was in this class last week and she was talking about how her bananas are doing so well. And when Tara says, "Oh man, God, Doc, I need to find a easier way to get to the beach." You know what? David just got his first taxi. I bet he would love to have a for show client. And I want people to do stuff just like that. So if I had $1 million, that's what I would do. I wouldn't build, and I don't feel bad for saying it. I wouldn't build it here. Man, I'm building it in Ecuador.
I'm right there with you. I don't blame you.
So there's a reason why we asked that question, and it just dawned on me when you shared what you want. I'm telling you, this is a divine conversation. We asked that question in our podcast. It's one of our favorite questions, right? And usually most people are all around. What we find is helping others. When they don't have any need, when their needs are taken care of, most people want to help other people. And the beautiful thing about it is that I am so excited that one day we have a chronological and a video that David and I, when our accountant says, Mr. and Mrs. Jones, you guys have an extra $1 billion we need to go ahead and get rid of because at the end of the day, we don't need to pay taxes on it. So what are we going to do with it? David and I are going to sit down and we're going to watch these and we're going to cry and laugh and just have a great time. And we're going to call in Kendrick up and be like, "Kendrick, so how much do we need to build that school? How much do we need to build 5 schools? How much do we need? How much do you need? And do you need any other resources? What's that look like? And how are you doing? You know, and so I think I've had that conversation multiple times. There's several people that I've had that conversation with that have touched me, and they're because of their hearts of who they are. They're just sweet people, right? And I
Hmm.
see them kind of get the shaft, and it's like, I'm gonna remember you. You just mark my word. And so I love that question because you gave me goosebumps when you shared it. And it wasn't so much just about what you're doing, it's just about the divinity that you are carrying in your message tonight. So I'm going to leave it out there. Mr. Jones, what you got?
A
You
thousand
know,
thank yous.
anytime, brother. What would you say? Hmm, who would be the 3 people that have influenced you the most?
The 3 people that have influenced me the most. Number one is, of course, going to be I gotta say my parents as I'm gonna say my parents as a one person combo. It would be my parents number one. Number two is going to actually be my wife's parents. The support that my wife's my in laws give me, and that's from because such like my father doesn't believe in cannabis to treat my illness, all types of stuff. It causes all type of issues with he and I, which causes issues with the family because he is such a disagreement with how I treat myself. My in-laws support me 100%. It it blew me away how much they support me because before then I had always been thinking like, our in-laws don't like the man. The man not supposed to get along with the wife's in-laws like that. It's not supposed to go like that. And until I got diagnosed and I saw that, I'll be damn, like they got my back. I feel like more than my own parents do. This is amazing. They're sharing shit on social media, all type of stuff. They follow my blog, everything. My own parents don't do that. So my parents, her parents, and then after that, the person who has influenced my life the absolute most is there was a teacher, Joseph Eberhart. He taught way down close to San Antonio. I took one of his teaching classes way back when I was a teacher, and he talked about how he always tells the students the first day, he said he spends the whole first week of school teaching his kids the difference between right brain and left brain. That way, the kids understand the difference that environment determines your intelligence. If you super cold in basketball, you smart as shit on the basketball court, but you might not be that smart in the doggone science lab. You could be smart as hell in the kitchen, and maybe your environment is not in that math classroom. He said he spends all the whole first week setting this shit up with the kids, and I mean, once I learned about that, and the difference between the right brain and left brain hemispheres and how that really correlates to intelligence, man, that was an instant part of my own classroom. And I spent 2 weeks doing it because they said my kids took more time to learn. And I'll be down like, yo, man, that shit worked out. I want to teach a year and all type of stuff. And that's because I took a big piece of that. I took that part of it, man. From that brain hemisphere, love language, all that became. It's like he's the one that told me it is okay to not do that damn textbook.
Mhm.
Whatever you think your kids need, teach your kids that, and then you come back to the textbook. And I mean, I took that and I ran with it, and that was a huge part of my education, man. Huge part of my education was that.
Man, that if so many more teachers, like there are so many more teachers out there that feel that, but they live in that fear. They live in the fear of if they don't follow what happens to them
Hmm.
because it's this whole fear that the whole system runs around in the sense of let's keep you in fear base because you need the money in order to pay the bills to keep the looking good run the show and or whatever it is, but you gotta, it's that constant need and run. And so it's just really insightful that like teachers to hear, and I know all teachers care because that's why they're teachers. Like it takes a unique soul to be a teacher. Real talk,
Yeah.
Yep.
like mad kudos
More
to
power
you
to you.
because I definitely would have to be in a high school.
There'll be some white meat showing. I'm just saying, like Bernie Mac says, there'll be some white meat will be showing.
And especially now with the red tape that is so incumbent on teachers and why they're just trying to make a
for people that
difference.
didn't understand, their heads will be bashed with a hammer.
Oh yeah. That means David Jones will be splitting some heads open, just so everybody on the,
Jumping on my damn couch.
for those that don't know Bernie Mac, we wanted you to know. So, anyways, I appreciate that because this just shows, again, it shows your heart, and that's and this is it's called Getting Naked, but we should call it like it is a whole lot of love over here, but it's not that kind of love, y'all. It is a higher vibrating love, and it's pleasurable. Don't get us wrong, but it's the different kind of love.
He talking about he loving people, love kindness, integrity. He talking about busting people upside the head.
Yeah, well, Mr. Jones. I mean, how can you be of love, kindness, and integrity and smacking people upside the head?
Cancel culture his ass right now. We sending him some hate mail today.
No, because you are talking about love LUVE, and they talking about love LOVE. Same feeling, pronounced a different way, but you get there in a different vehicle. Boom.
Oh.
That's how you hit them with that. They hit him with that LUVE.
Potato.
He's high. He's high.
Look, you are a spokesperson.
He's high.
Hold on.
Sign his ass up.
We need to come in and lay some smoothness out, please.
You know that parody where the guy standing behind him, he's like, what he really means to say.
Oh yeah.
It's this.
Yeah. He brings. What is this? Yes.
Well, hey, brother, we greatly appreciate you. You joining us today. I want you to be able to share where the people can find you, what you're up to, what events you have coming, where can people, really plug into what you're doing, your podcast. Share it away, brother, because our floor is your floor, and that's what we tell people. Collaboration is the new competition, and we got to be able to support one another. So talk to me.
We about collaborating communities.
Got it. Yo, 1,000 thank yous for everything. So if you want the best way to get in contact with me, to find me, to get a book from me, to schedule a service with me, is simply to visit my website, allthingsonelove.com. That is no word. I mean, that's all words, no numbers, allthingsonelove.com. You can even find my gratitude journal there because, as y'all have heard, I talk all the time about gratitude journal. Tara, you said you had the two. You said you had the two journals. I have my online gratitude journal at allthingsonelove.com. I'm on day 478 days in a row with that. My written gratitude journal is, I think I'm starting. I think this is year number 4 doing that. So if you're ever looking for me, allthingsonelove.com. You can get the ebook, the printed books, get everything. Allthingsonelove.com.
I love it.
I love
Allthingsonelove.com.
I love it.
Man, you guys, we encourage you guys to lean in, plug in with Kendrick. Hey, if you guys look, I know in our clubhouse there is another fellow teacher who has, well, I should not say teacher, she has the same passion as you do, and she's actually on the phone right now. But I absolutely love for you guys just to connect. There's I know Teresa is actually starting her podcast. She's actually had to run. She was in here, but that's another, amazing connection there is just podcasting, and I know Maya has her blog and you've been blogging. So that's a connection. And at the end of the day, I share this simply because, hey, 444, look at that. I share this because at the end of the day, it's all about connect. I am a little, oh, hey, look, a little rainbow. And it's all about connecting. It's all about, nope, you can't. And you know what? You're going to have a damn good time when we get there too. and on the way home. And we might
That's what's most important, having a good ass time on the way home and while you're there.
Oh, yeah, we might not get home. It might be a detour to the next stop. To the moon, Alice. Let's go. Anywho, so if you haven't heard that, that's an old, I think Johnny Carson used to say.
Already?
Yeah, to the moon, Alice. I don't know. Man, I used to hang out with old people, so I only get the old terms.
You can't spell old.
You know what? I bet you used to watch TV until it actually went off. Did you used to watch TV until it actually? Did you used to watch TV until it actually went off at night?
Yes.
Boom. Yep. Okay. My wife was always doing this shit too. She's always coming up with this old shit from Johnny Carson. All the time. You didn't watch that? Man, hell no, I was asleep. What you talking about? I had to get up and go to school in the morning. What are you talking? I wasn't watching TV. There wasn't no TV in my room for that.
Mine is that my parents, my dad was 10 years older than my mom, and my mom's 70 now. I'll be 40 this year, so we're 30. She was at almost 30 when she had me. My dad was nearly 40 when he had me. So I had old. They're not old, but they, just the old.
There was a little gap.
Beings.
There was a little gap.
Yeah, the gap. There's a gap there.
Yep.
And then, the gap. Yeah, kind of my teeth. No, I'm kidding. So my point being is then I moved into two mentors who are the same age as my parents. And I'm like, apparently growing up to 20 wasn't good enough. This world, this universe thought I needed some more parental guardians for the next, till I was 35, Here you go. Now you can go. But, Kendrick, we appreciate you. I digress off into who knows what I was talking about, but we appreciate you. And we appreciate your love. We appreciate your support. You guys, Kendrick came to, us, not even us, David, and he linked up. And I had to say, I told David, I was like, who's this guy that's just loving on us? And David's like, he was sharing your story with me and all that. And you're one of kind of the first people, and there's a few handful of them that, just loved us just for us. And that goes a long ways because, like David said in the beginning, there's a time that, we've got people that we've known a long time, and they don't love us like people, random strangers love us. And it's weird to know that, those people that you thought would support you through everything, they still support you, but they just don't realize that's really what's going on. Is they're not aware that they're that disconnect, if that makes sense. And
It does.
when you start something like that, you have started and we have started, and those that are in the rooms listening have started, you start to understand that, oh, okay. And it is needed for you to gain awareness and a new mindset, and to learn to love those people, like our friend Genesis says.
Love them from the balcony.
Love them from the balcony. We used to say love them from afar, but we're picking up hers and saying love them from the balcony, boo boo, because hi. So.
But yeah, brother.
Better. I like that one even better. Living from the balcony was way better.
Yeah. But look here, we're gonna keep this conversation going if you want to. We're gonna end this live. You guys know where you can find us in the Hello LLC room. And so, brother, we want to greatly appreciate you guys joining with us today. And everybody from joining with us on live, from our YouTube, from our Facebook, from our Twitter, from Clubhouse, from Wisdom. We love you guys all, on being able to come to our first of many podcasts live, so you guys can see how we keep it real, raw, and funny as AF. And look, if anybody wants to be on our podcast, I want you to go to our Instagram. I want you to go to our Facebook. I want you to go to our YouTube. Hit us up there, say podcast, hit us in the back channel, and we will definitely send a date for you to be able to showcase yourself, see what you're up to, because as we say, there's enough room for all of us, to really be able to get together. And brother, I cannot wait till we get your Hello briefcase up and going, right? We have our Hello launch party this weekend at Saturday at 12 o'clock in the Hello LLC room, on Wisdom, on social media. You guys come and join us and really learn how our Hello briefcase is helping out people. Not only, are we being able to collaborate with like-minded people that really want to, stop being that individual that's trying to figure out everything.
Yeah.
We want to collaborate with those people that really want to, automate their business and be able to change, and pivot themselves online. Because if your ass ain't online, you're falling behind. And then being able to duplicate, the same success that we've been able to do for our business with other people's business. And so that's the short, simple, sweet of it, is that we do three things. We collaborate, we automate, and we duplicate. And if that's one of those three things hit home with you, then I suggest, like Bob Barker says on The Price is Right, bring your ass on down, right? And let's and let's see what you got, and really be able to, fit things into your life that aren't just, like you said earlier, your passion. I did this like I said, I did the room earlier. It was passion over profits. And today's conversation should have really been, what's your love language? What's your love language that you want to share with everybody else out there in the world, and we can find some value behind it? And that in itself would have been a whole lot more valuable, although a lot of people might not have gotten it. But I think people that have followed us now understand that they need to find their love language and really take that into full heart, right? So we're gonna keep this party rocking and rolling. We're gonna keep this party rocking and rolling. So if people want to talk and hear you talk, they know where they can come find us in the Hello LLC room. But we're gonna wrap this bad boy up on all our other platforms. So like we say all the time, love,
kindness,
and integrity. You guys go make sure you guys go follow Kendrick Avant. Go and talk to him. Go and support him more than anything on his journey and how he's doing it. And as I share with you guys, you got to give love to get love.
Yes, absolutely.
Yep, 100% on that one. Got to give it to get it.
Boom.
I love it. Well, we're going to end this and we will see you in Clubhouse, my friend.
See y'all later.
Bye.